Hello everyone, welcome back. We're on day 2 of spoilers. We're running a little bit late, and it's gonna be a pretty quick one because it's just me. Without further ado, here we go. These are in no particular order, I'm just going off of what I have in my collection here. So first off, we have Helm of Sharp Eye. It's a warrior equipment for the head. We actually predicted this one in another video. I'll put the link in the description when I have it up. It has battle worn for 1. Its ability is an attack reaction. You pay 1, destroy Helm of Sharp Eye, banish the top card of your deck. You may play it this combat chain. Activate this ability only if you control a weapon with power greater than twice its base. And that's the wrong its. The editor in me is going a little bit crazy right now, but that's okay. So this card is interesting. I don't know if I love it. It's not bad, but I would rather have something that, like, gave go again, maybe? Or, in Kasai's case, maybe, like, you can use your weapon again or something. Bolton just is kind of SOL with this card. He doesn't play a lot of attack reactions most of the time. At least not that I've seen. But Dorinthia could use it. Kasai could probably use it. I don't know. I think it's a little bit underwhelming, but, you know, it's whatever. We'll see how it goes. Next we have In the Swing. It's a warrior attack action. Costs 0. Pitches for, let's see, it's a promo, so it's probably red, yellow, blue. Blocks for 3. Play In the Swing only if you have attacked 2 or more times with weapons this turn. And target weapon attack gains +3. This is an interesting card. I don't know how good it is, honestly. Thinking about it, it could be good with Kasai, with Axe Dory, or with Bolton axes, just because they have 2 weapons to attack with, but you would still have to have a way to use one weapon again. So Dorinthia could use it pretty well, but I don't know about the other 2 warriors that we have, just because I think only Duskpath Pilgrimage can make it so that you can use your weapon again. So I don't know. But we'll see. I'm actually kind of excited for this card just because it costs 0 and it doesn't have reprise, which is kind of nice. But I don't know. I might have to try it. Next we have Skull Crushers. This one's kind of exciting. It's a brute equipment. It's the arms. Whenever you roll a 5 or 6 on a die, your brute attacks gain +1. And whenever you roll a 1 on a die, destroy it. So that's kind of fun. And it's got battle worn for 1. So I think this is kind of funny, because if you roll a 2, 3, or 4, it's kind of just whatever. You don't get anything. But if you roll a 5 or a 6, you get +1. It does replace the Gambler's Gloves, which means you wouldn't be able to re-roll. So if you roll a 1, you're out of Skull Crushers. But it doesn't break if you roll the 5 or the 6, so that's kind of nice. I think it's really funny. I don't know. We'll see. I am really excited for this one. I do really want to try it at some point, but I think this is a fun card. Next we have High Roller. It's a brute action. Costs 0, pitches for red, yellow, blue, blocks for 3. It has Intimidate. And if you have rolled a 4, 5, or 6 on a die this turn, instead intimidate twice. So that's kind of hilarious. If you have a really bonkers Scabskin Leathers turn, or maybe you just used your Skull Crushers or something, you could intimidate twice off of this one card. That costs, literally it costs 0. You're intimidating at least once for 0 cost, which I think Barraging Beatdown does too. But the option to intimidate twice, I think, is really funny. It's bonkers. I think it's great. Next we have Krakens Ether Vein. This is the wizard weapon. Once per turn instant, pay 3, deal 1 arcane damage to the target opposing hero, and draw a card for each arcane damage dealt this way. I do not like this weapon. I really, really don't. Because you're paying 3 to deal 1 arcane damage. And sure, you can deal 1 arcane damage on your opponent's turn because it's an instant. It's a once per turn instant, it deals 1 arcane, and I don't think there's any way to pump the 1 arcane. Maybe there is. Let me know in the comments if you can think of any way to pump this up. But as is right now, it's deal 1 arcane and draw a card. And I'd rather just use the Crucible, pump up my next wizard action, and deal more arcane that way. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't play wizard enough. Next we have pulverize. Oh boy. So this is the one that the LSS kind of hinted at in their tweets. So it's a guardian attack. It costs 10. It pitches for red. It attacks for, get ready, 14. And blocks for 3. And here's the new word. It's heave. This has heave 3. At the beginning of your end phase, if pulverize is in your hand and you have an empty arsenal zone, you may pay 3 and put pulverize face up into your arsenal. And if you do that, you create 3 seismic surge tokens. So that's nice. When pulverize hits a hero, their first attack during their next turn has -4 power. Holy cow. Okay, let's break this down a little bit. So, pulverize costs 10. But if you use the heave ability and you put pulverize face up in your arsenal, you get 3 seismic surge tokens. So that's already cutting it to 7 resources. And then if you use your tectonic plating, you can make another seismic surge token. So that's down to 6 now, which is only 2 blues. Attacking for 14. 14, guys. That's just 14. I don't even know what else to say. It doesn't even have crush, so if it hits at all, and could you imagine, like, with Bravo, this is face up in your arsenal, you have 4 seismic surge tokens, and you just have a handful of blues, right? So you block with 1 maybe, and then on your turn you still have the 3 blues, right? So you put a blue in the pitch zone to trigger Bravo, and then you just pay with the rest of it, pulverize 14 with dominate. That's like, like I can't even imagine trying to block that right now. My brain is just racked. I'm trying so hard to figure this out, and just like with my viscerae, like I have Bloodsheath Skeleton, I have Grasp of the Arknight, and then I don't really have anything else to block with, so I would have to be running Iron Rot, so that's only 6. I'm only blocking 6 with my equipment, and then maybe if I have Reduced to Rune Chant in my arsenal, that's 4. So that's up to 10, and then I block from hand with... The only way I could do that is with another Reduce or a Sigil of Suffering or something to block that extra 4. And that's just... Oh my gosh. Or like with Bravo Star of the Show, let's see, if you reveal an Earth, an Ice, and a Lightning card, then you could give it +2, so it's up to 16, and then it gets Dominate, and then it gets Go Again. You probably wouldn't be able to use the Go Again, but it would be 16 Dominate, and that's impossible. I don't think anyone could block that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this card blows my mind a little bit. But, you know, let's move on for now to another excellent card. We're just getting all the good cards. So this is Fractal Replication. Cost 0, pitches for red, it's a majestic. Power and defense are conditional. When you play or defend with Fractal Replication, it gains the abilities and effects of all illusionist attack action cards on the combat chain. Fractal Replication's power is equal to the greatest base power among illusionist attack action cards on the combat chain. Fractal Replication's defense is equal to the greatest base defense among illusionist attack action cards on the combat chain. So the defense, I think, can only go up to 3 right now. But the power! So the way my husband wants to play this is break the Dreamweavers so things don't have Phantasm. And then Phantasmaclasm, and then Herald of Erudition, and then Fractal Replication, right? So Herald of Erudition makes it so that if it hits, it goes into your soul and you draw 2 cards, I think is what it is. So Fractal Replication would be attacking for 9, and if it hits, draw 2 cards and put it into your soul. That's ridiculous. This is like the craziest illusionist attack ever. And it's free, and it's amazing, and I love this art. It's just so pretty, and I really want this illusionist to like be a real thing because she looks so cool. I love Prism, but this illusionist looks so much cooler. This is a great card. I love this card. This is so fun. I'm gonna hate playing against it, but I love this card. Let's move on. We got our new arrow. So this is what LSS said was an arrow unlike any other. So this is Battering Bolt. It's a Majestic Ranger arrow attack. Pitches for 1, costs 2, attacks for 6, blocks for 3. When Battering Bolt hits a hero, they reveal their hand and discard all cards other than action cards. So reaction cards are gone, instants are gone. Then they lose 1 health for each card discarded this way. This is an interesting card. I don't know how good it's going to be. It'll be good against maybe control decks or people who have a lot of defense reactions. And then it'll be really good against warriors that run a lot of attack reactions like Dorinthia and Kasai. It'll be good against people who run a lot of instants. It'll be interesting to see who's running it in what matchups, you know. I don't think it's going to be an all-around, like, always keep this in your deck kind of thing. It's definitely going to be a sideboard card, but, yeah, I'm interested to see what goes on with it. Okay, next we have the Benji specialization. Oh, I'm excited for this one. So, it's a Majestic, pitches for yellow. Costs 0, attacks for 2, blocks for 3. When Spring Tidings hits, draw a card for each other attack action card with 2 or less base power you control on the combat chain with Go Again. So, holy cow. I'm trying to think of how many of those Benji runs. I don't play Ninja. I know very few people who have ever even considered playing Benji. I gave my brother a Benji deck as a joke because his name is Benjamin, but that's all I got. I feel like it's really good just because Benji does want to play those really weak cards, and drawing a card is just ridiculous. Like, I was talking to some friends at Armory last night, and they were saying that this card is friggin' bonkers. I'm inclined to agree with them just because draw a card for each attack action card with 2 or less base power on this chain, it just sounds amazing. But I don't know enough about Benji. I don't know enough about, like, the ninja cards to really say either way whether it's good or bad, you know. Next is Talisman of Balance. So this is an item. It's a rare item. It's going to pitch for blue. It costs yellow. Has Go Again. At the beginning of your end phase, if you have less cards in arsenal than an opposing hero, destroy Talisman of Balance and put the top card of your deck into an empty arsenal zone you control. So I think this is really interesting. Basically, you play this at the beginning of your turn, at the beginning of your end phase. You just do this, right? I don't know whether to say this is good or bad. Because on one hand, you know, Lexi and Azalea have, if they're running New Horizon, they'll have 2 arsenal slots. On the other hand, if your arsenal's already full and you're not playing Lexi or Azalea with 2 arsenal zones, then you're not going to be able to do anything. But if you don't have something in your arsenal but the other person does, then you can do that, which I think is interesting. But at the same time, I don't know how good it is, just because what if the top card of your deck is, like, really bad? Like, you would probably want to opt first if you can, but we'll see. If you guys can make it work, let me know, because I'm very curious to see how this is going to work. Let's move on to the next item. So this is Amulet of Echoes. It pitches for blue, costs 0, has go again. I love when items have go again. It just makes me feel so much better about them. Its instant ability is Destroy Amulet of Echoes. Target hero discards 2 cards. Activate this ability only if they have played 2 or more cards with the same name this turn. So this is kind of funny. I don't know how many heroes play cards with the same name during a turn. I know I do sometimes just with Mavrian's guys, or like Rune Flash sometimes if I'm lucky, but I don't know. I think it's hilarious just because it punishes people for playing the same card in a turn. I guess we'll see. I'm very excited to see what these cards do. And then our last one is Potion of Deja Vu. This one doesn't have go again. Sad day. Pitches for blue, costs 0. Its instant ability is you destroy it, and then you put all cards from your pitch zone on top of your deck in any order. But your opponents don't get to see the order of the cards. So that's kind of cool. And then you just pull all your pitch cards back. I think that would be interesting for Bravo, just because then he's guaranteed to have, you know, X amount of blues in his hand, which could be helpful in paying for, you know, whatever's coming next after that pitched card. I think this is probably what LSS was hinting at. I have the tweet up here. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it kind of worries me a little bit. If you know you're gonna draw a card or something, if you're playing Blitz and you play a Plunder Run and then your attack hits, you could play this in the attack reaction phase and then put all your pitched cards back on top if you wanted to play one of them. Like, I want it to be good. I do really want it to be good. But at the same time, I don't know if it's going to be. And maybe that's just me being like, I'm not a super confident Flesh and Blood player, but I guess we'll see. This set is so interesting. There's just so much going on, and I don't know how to handle all of it. But it's exciting. I'm really, really excited to see how the meta is going to change, just because I know it's going to, right? So those are spoilers for day 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know your thoughts about these new cards, whether they're good or bad, whether you agree or disagree. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. Leave a comment, like and subscribe, and we'll be back with day 3 later. Okay, see you guys.